The Finals Open Beta is now over. This was the third time that Embark Studios set up a playtest when it comes to their upcoming free-to-play FPS title. They've had a big success overall, and especially this time around, since there was 7.5 million participants playing the open beta during the last 2 weeks. Amazing numbers indeed. So Embark have now begun working on improvements and fixes that are based on the feedback they've gathered in the last 2 weeks. With that said, the game will hopefully be an even tighter and better experience on many levels compared to what we have experienced so far. And since I've also had an overall good time during this playtest with a few exceptions, I believe that we're safe to say that the game has good potential or great potential and is also an anticipated game for many out there. But with a big initial success when it comes to this recent playtest, there's also some dark clouds arising when it comes to the future and overall health of this upcoming title, and that is spelled cheaters. Because even if there's enough challenge for Embark to just focus on gameplay improvements, bugs and fixes, there's also the fact that there was quite a few cheaters already in this open beta. Quite remarkable, by the way, what someone decides to cheat overall, but especially doing so in a beta when it comes to a game that hasn't even been released yet. Kind of a desperate act, I believe, because as long as a game is successful, and especially a free-to-play title, there will be companies around that are willing to sell cheats and hacks for that particular game. And now those cheats are already available for an upcoming free-to-play FPS title such as the Finals. Some people have a hard time to spot cheaters overall, but especially in a fast-paced shooter such as the Finals, that also includes gadgets and abilities alongside with environmental destruction, which altogether can make it harder to detect an actual cheater. Especially since some players has already also reached a high skill level in the game. But don't get fooled, this is not about skill issues. The cheaters were so prevalent in the Finals playtest that a member of Embark Studios came out with a statement addressing the FPS game's growing community. An anti-cheat spokesperson named Echo had this to say in the game's official Discord server. "We are aware of the recent increase in cheating instances. We're actively working on improving the situation. As you may know, anti-cheat is a never-ending battle." They go on to say that cheaters are not slipping through the cracks and action will be taken to improve the game experience. End of quote. Well, that's nice, but also quite general saying when it comes to the problems with cheaters. I've read or heard similar things from other companies before. Even a good anti-cheat system has been proven to have problems with detecting certain cheats, since the companies are improving them all the time when it comes to making better cheats. But even so, cheaters in the Finals should be aware of the fact that these incidents are not going unnoticed, even though the response might be somewhat slow. This anti-cheat guy named Echo continues to say this: "Accounts that are cheating are not going undetected despite cheat vendors' assurances. We have the necessary information and we're taking action on it." This means two things, of course, that the developers are already taking the cheating issue seriously and that they are already also taking action against it. As you may be aware of, there are certain groups and people out there that are dedicated to the cause when it comes to exposing cheats and cheaters in video games. A tweet on X, meaning Twitter, by anti-cheat or anti-cheat PD shows how a cheater in the Finals is looking through walls and taking out players with perfect accuracy, landing those headshots no matter the distance. So what can be done on the behalf of the developers, meaning Embark Studios, when it comes to this issue? Especially since we do believe that the Finals is about to release soon, most likely in December, I believe. First off, a good anti-cheat system, that goes without saying, even though some anti-cheat systems aren't really that good. We've already pointed towards that, but besides that, I do believe that they need to add, for example, a kill cam into the game, which can help to determine whether the guy is cheating or not. But then the kill cam has to be good, since I've played games where the kill cam did not represent what actually took place in real time. Alongside with that, it would be nice to have the ability to report mid-game via the tab score screen, for example. I don't believe that has been added yet into the game. Some players has also suggested that you should have a linked phone number to your account in order to help the situation. Cheaters has become one of the biggest issues in modern FPS gaming, and the Finals, being a game that caters to a somewhat competitive style of a game, has a big challenge ahead of them. Because if they don't manage to take care of the cheaters, or at least make it really hard and costly to cheat in their game, then I'm afraid the Finals will drop players pretty fast, only months after launch. I've seen that happening before with other games, especially free-to-play titles, that gets infested with a lot of cheaters. Yes, the Finals has become one of the latest targets for cheat providers due to its great success of its open beta. People reported more and more cheaters as the playtest went into week 2, so I believe we're confident to say that this is a true issue and problem. I have to say, it's embarrassing that an amount of people will pay to secure some of these cheat bundles to be the best at a beta, for example. I just can't understand why you would do that. But due to the cheater problem, Embark may have an even harder time to establish a strong reputation for the game ahead of its launch. So, what do you think? Can the Finals be able to minimize the cheater issue in their free-to-play FPS game, or will the Finals become one of those games that dies out after launch because of those who have absolutely nothing better to do than to spoil the entertainment of others? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and we take it from there. And if you enjoyed this video when it comes to a topic that I believe is very important, then please leave a like on the video. Thanks a lot for watching and have a beautiful day. Cheers!